£300 million will be spent to improve disability access to some of the capital's train stations over the next 5 years. Measures such as lifts and counters will be added to 17 stations in London.
It's a large chunk of money. 17 stations is quite a big step forward, so we've got to look on the positive side today. We need as much money as possible to get as many stations accessible as we can, as quickly as we can, because that's got to be the ultimate aim. But as I say, any investment has got to be welcomed. It does make such a difference to letting people get out and about. There is a real problem that a lot of the infrastructure is Victorian. So we can always do with more money, we can always do with more improvements, but it's a really good start.
The money will be split between 73 stations across Britain as part of a new inclusive transport strategy.
Even though at the moment 75% of all journeys are step-free, that will increase. So it makes that journey much better and builds the confidence of people with accessibility concerns to go on board and use public transport. We work with a number of disability campaign groups to make sure that all of our public transport system is opened up to become more accessible, and we're incredibly ambitious, and this is just one piece of the pie that we're trying to deliver today, but it does mean that many more passengers, whether they're with a buggy, with a parent or with somebody in a wheelchair, will have a much better journey going forward.
Disability activists are hoping that this is the first step and more improvements will be made.
When I'm out with my guide dog, we're lucky that my dog is escalator trained. There's a lot of guide dogs in London that aren't, so you have to rely on step free, or you have to rely on staff turning the escalators off, which they don't like to do. But I also have a young child and I pull a buggy with me. So going through London with a guide dog and a buggy means I have to only take step free, and that limits to where I go. A majority of stations are fine. Big stations like Euston, you know, when you want to go up north and you want to go to the Virgin trains, you can't actually get from the platform up to the top step free. So you're having to go to King's Cross and walk. For a visually impaired person, for someone with a wheelchair, it just means it's more stress, it's more hassle. Any station that's made accessible is a bonus. Having to travel through London and not being able to travel to your nearest station, maybe having to travel a little bit further out and getting on a bus, it's ridiculous at this kind of time. I think any station with a ramp, lifts, tactiles, anything to get people out and about, I think it could be a good thing.
Alex Isat, Putney.